Oh, sure, no. I'm good.
Actually, I met him in
All right, greetings everyone and good evening. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order and we'll make sure we have a quorum beginning with a roll call vote. Christopher.
Here.
Meredith. Here. John.
Present.
Juan Carlos.
Here.
Joe.
Here.
And I am here as well. We do have a quorum. Juan Carlos, has this meeting been properly noticed?
Yes.
Thank you. To help ensure that we're centering our board work around our shared values and serving our students, we begin each of our board meetings by reading our district's equity framework and the Ho-Chunk land acknowledgement, which can be found at the top of the agenda. Meredith, would you please read for us this evening?
Absolutely. Our equity statement reads, in the Verona Area School District, our mission is that each student will acquire the knowledge and skills necessary to achieve their personal goals, thrive in a diverse global society, and lead a healthy, self-fulfilling life. To meet this mission, the Verona Area School District will ensure that every individual has access to the educational, social, and emotional support they need to feel valued and affirmed in their unique identities and experiences. We acknowledge that inequities in power dynamics exist in our system such that some individuals, on the basis of their identities, face barriers to accessing the opportunities they need to experience success. In acknowledgement of such, the Verona Area School District is committed to disrupting these systems of inequity. And our Ho-Chunk land acknowledgement reads, there are currently 12 tribal nations who call Wisconsin home, with the Ho-Chunk Nation being the primary group living around Madison. No matter where you are in the state, you are on the ancestral land of a tribal nation. As we begin our meeting, we honor the land upon which we stand.
Thank you. Board members, then calling your attention to the remainder of tonight's agenda. There are no amendments. I'd accept a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Christopher. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Meredith. All those in favor of approving tonight's agenda signify with aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, agenda is approved. So we have some recognitions this evening. 2 student recognitions, Dr. Flaherty.
All right, thank you, President Murphy. Welcome everyone, and thank you for our robust crowd here to hear our presentation on the.
And all those watching live on YouTube. Yep. For those, yep.
Not many people can make a great character, T-Boss, but you managed.
I was just excited to be here.
Yeah.
Today we're excited to celebrate 2 of our dynamic scholars here at Verona Area High School. We are proud to congratulate Soha Gandhi and Aaron Cassidy. They'll be VSD's representatives at Badger Girls State this summer. Badger Girls State is a week-long leadership and civics conference where high school students run a simulated 51st state called Badger using Wisconsin laws. Key aspects include mock elections, party platforms, debates, and civic training. Not only were Soha and Aaron selected to attend Badger Girls State, they were both elected to serve in important positions in the simulated state of Badger. Soha was elected the state superintendent of public instruction, and Aaron was elected the Supreme Court Justice. Congratulations to both of our amazing scholars.
So, do you know what week the conference is?
I think it already happened. Didn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, it happened already.
Yeah, I'd love to hear, anecdotally or directly how that went. That's really amazing.
Absolutely. So we know our scholars are extremely busy during the summer. Hopefully they're enjoying some time away, but when we get them back in the year, we'd love to have them come in and talk a little bit more about their experiences.
Yeah.
Especially as we know civic engagement is increasingly important right now.
Well, and we've talked about like added student voice at the board table. I mean, what an interesting frame for these two scholars to then bring to the discussion, potentially in the ways that we're trying to also be civically minded as board members, and yeah, excited. All right, let me move on to the superintendent's report.
Next, it is my honor to present Ms. Teresa Voss. Teresa will do the district library plan progress report, which is under Wisconsin Administrative Code P18.01. And we couldn't be happier to have her here because it's T. Voss and it's our importance of our literacy focus that we've had for multiple years. And thank you so much to our entire community of how you brought literacy to life in so many amazing ways to our scholar.
Thank you. I appreciate all of you giving us this chance to give you the update. So we're at the end of our third year, meaning we're starting our new cycle of our district library plan, and it's really a continuation of our previous one. We felt like thank you. Oh, yeah. I'm so excited about this too. No, it's really a continuation of the work that we have been doing, and we are finding that we are getting some nice traction, and we still feel that these are areas that we are committed to. So broad picture. This is our current state. We have 8 certified librarians for 9 school libraries in 11 of our schools. Some of our librarians share jobs as well as schools. We're serving 5,400 students, about 850 staff, and we're still sitting at about 130,000 resources for books with that. So all of this is what we keep in mind as we go through. Because this was a renewal, big look at it, we really grounded our focus in the Future Ready Librarians Framework, which had some updates since the last time we presented to it, as well as our AASL, which is our American Association of School Libraries standards. The framework really is our, the background, how we run the libraries. It's more of the program side of librarians. The standards is more of our curricular side. So we actually have goals that really feed out of both of those too. So 3 goals, and you're going to see some similarities from our previous ones. The first one really is focusing on collection development. We are really working diligently to make sure that all of our students are seen, heard, loved, felt in the library. And to do that requires intentionality, and it requires us to really dig into the work that we have. So we are looking at this not only from the student needs, but also our curricular needs and how we can put those two together. Our 3 focuses are going to be representation and equity again. We are going to dig deeper into collection size and age as we continue to grow, making sure that our library is accessible in size, and that also means looking at percentages of, in our elementaries, what do we have for picture books? What do we have for nonfiction? What do we have for fiction? So we didn't do that this last time, and we're going to dig into this a little bit more. And then we are going to continue to work on our databases to see which is meeting our needs and which are not. We have let some go in the last 3 years. We have added some new ones, and we want to make sure that we are continually being fiscally responsible with the databases that we have. So that's our first goal, is collection development. The second goal is curriculum. We, last 3 years, spent a long time on developing what our K-5 curriculum is, because this was us working on it. We are now to a point where we need to start to refine and make sure that we are making sure that all of our students across the district are getting this along the same line. So we'll be doing that. We're looking at coherency. That's our big focus. We'll use a lot of our late starts for this time, as well as our district library meetings. Connections and collaborations. As our units are coming out, we are looking at how do we start teaching with our classroom teachers, because we know the power of having 2 of us together. Actually, our kids do better. So how does that work? And then the third one is really focusing on reading choice and time. And part of this is we want to make sure that all of our students are getting access to our resources, and we are not narrowing what they have, as well as promoting what does free reading look like. As we know, not everybody likes to read, and it's our job to help find that for our students, and we want to make sure that we are developing that outside reading level of love. So that's going to be our K2, or our goal 2. And the last goal is our continuing work with outreach and partnerships. And with this, we want to make sure that what we are doing in the library is really known out in the community, because we can't do this without our community partners. And that also includes our families. So we want to make sure the families know what we are doing. We want to make sure that we continue our work with the Madison Reading Project, and then our outreach with the VASD Reads about getting books out in kids' hands. So those are our 3 goals, tweaked and expanded on from the first round 3-year plan. And then that is our second. Amy, anything else?
Sure. So I would just name that I think it's important that we have our 3-year and our long-term library plan. I mean, we don't have a results policy that's specific to our library programming, but just the important work that T-Boss and her team are doing that is supporting many of our other results policies. For social studies, our 4th grade students did an inquiry project into the history of Verona. Our librarians were deep in trying to find the materials and bring in the people to help them engage in that process. As we think about artificial intelligence, our librarians at the forefront of helping us think about digital citizenship and what does that mean, and how do we build AI literacy, and then just the partnerships even with advanced learning is obviously a results policy, partnering with our advanced learning teams to offer battle of books, which is another opportunity that's accessible to all. And a large undertaking. I saw your face fall when I mentioned that.
It's a good thing. It's a very, I actually love that day.
But lots of work that our library teams are doing that are supporting so many of the other results policies, and their work really undergirds that as well. So grateful for the team and the way in which they are also just reflective as a team in terms of what are we doing well, how can we get better, and always in partnership and collaboration with others and students in our equity framework with us.
Thank you. And that is part of our goal. Like, we want to be, how do we all work together? You have been more detailed than the slides. So as you can tell in there, we actually did an analysis. We were very intentional and transparent about where our strengths and growing areas were. And with that, we focused on 3 goals. I mean, we could make one for every little wedge of the future ready framework, but we wanted to let you know that we did put it in there. Not every school does. But we know that we are doing some great things, and we always have an opportunity to learn, and this is what guides us as well. So with that, yes?
I just have so much more wonderful things to say about our library system, our commitment to our libraries and the staff that manage them. Coming from Center Prairie and Battle of Books, my kids were engaged. And you know, we came out of the pandemic, we could read to our kids when we were asked to be part-time teachers, and we could never compete with professional teachers ever. But reading was one thing that we could maintain. So that was not a challenge for us, but then we could get back in the library, the amount of community engagement that we had when we came here with different book events at the library. If we couldn't find anything here, we were engaged with our public libraries in the city of Pittsburgh, but you all do a phenomenal job, and I just wanted to share my appreciation. And now when we have arguments about screen time, and I say, okay, time to turn off the TV, they pick up a book and they will read at night before going to bed. So it shows all the commitment and hard work that you all do as a staff. So I just want to thank you and show appreciation for that.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
So you kind of said it, Amy, like we don't have like result, a policy that says, how is the library doing? So, and with that, you know, I looked at like the budget pieces, because that's something, of course, as a board, right, talking about ensuring that, like, do you have budget resources that you need? I'm super curious about, with the data of having 8 full-time librarians, all the library spaces, simply managing the spaces and then trying to push in and have these times to like co-teach. Just from your perspective, how is the resource aspect of what you're trying to accomplish? Like, are you getting what you need budgetarily, resource-wise, are there ways that we can also kind of be advocates for things that you need just to make it all come to fruition?
Appreciate that, really appreciate that. Our state has, in terms of our library books and our databases, I'm gonna put it out there, we're the best funded state for school libraries. We have common school funding, which is a part of our Bureau of Public Lands, and the money we make off of the loans, Bureau. In essence, that goes back to libraries and stuff. So that amount has been fantastic. We are not struggling in that. We did have a renovation a couple of years ago in quite a few of our libraries. I will admit, we are still tight with shelving. And that cannot come out of the common school funding. It can only be books or databases. So that is more capital expenses. Capital expenses.
Okay, yep.
And part of that is so dating me a little bit, when we moved all of the libraries, we moved 5 libraries during COVID kind of thing. We didn't take into account adding more shelving spaces. So in essence, we took the high school library, which had 3 spaces for one program, and split it into 3 libraries. So with that, we had to piecemeal some stuff from Sugar Creek, the old school, and take out theirs, but we are still tight. So I would say that's one area. And then I think the other area, Dr. Clarity knows that we are continuing to advocate for our middle schools being full-time librarians. So we have Dr. Clarity and the district office has done a phenomenal job of really helping our elementaries get that full-time person in. And our next steps are working on how do we add, so all of our kids in the middle school have access. So.
Appreciate-
It's yes and.
Yeah, no, I
Yes,
appreciate
yeah,
knowing
yeah.
that, right? Because it gives us more frames for conversation and information about how to ensure that, all the work that you're trying to do, you and your team, it's a
Yeah.
giant undertaking. And so because we don't carve out other times other than really this to get these updates from you.
No, I appreciate that. But we have been, I'm extremely blessed and fortunate to work with the district administrative team because they really do value what we are doing and we are working hard to get where we need to go.
And do you feel like kids really still want to hold the books?
Yes.
Okay, that's my hope, right? And we have conversations about device usage and all the things, but just that sense of scholars going into the library and wanting to pick out and hold and read a book that and the ability of our district to providing a depth of available books to have that richness stay. I mean, that is just so powerful.
Yeah, you see it. And part of it is this is why we do summer checkouts. This is why we, all of those little things are ways that we can help our students have access.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For all the work you do.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do. We just appreciate having this check-in. You can come to any meeting.
Yes, yeah.
I appreciate it. Well,
It's always great to hear the great work that you're
Thank
doing over here. So appreciative of it.
thank you. I have a phenomenal district team that I work with, so they're great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So we have a 3-year plan, and we will then file this with DPI, so that we make sure that we have that, and then I believe we'll add it to the consent agenda for the next meeting, for us to approve and name that we have a long-range plan on file for the state statute as well.
Great.
Any other questions?
Thank you. Well, and appreciating the continuing of your goals. I mean, we've talked about that even at this table of it doesn't have to mean you have to start over every 3 years if the goals still seem relevant and the data collection is driving you forward.
And that's really, and then continue when you can see the positive results and you still have more work to do. And it makes sense we're continuing that work. So thank you all.
Thanks, T-Boss.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. All right, board members, continuing on to public comment. I do not believe we have any public comments this evening. So we will then move to board updates. Anything from any board members on updates, things, happenings? Really is quiet around here, huh?
Middle of the summer.
Middle is an interesting word to use, but yeah, getting there. All right, well then moving on to consent agendas. Board members making sure you've had time to look at the superintendent's consent agenda. Are there any questions? Hearing none, the superintendent's consent agenda is approved, and our board consent agenda, thank you again, Christopher, for taking notes last week from afar. Appreciate your robust note-taking via Zoom. Are there any questions about the board's consent agenda? Hearing none, board's consent agenda is also approved. Future dates, next board meeting, 2 weeks from tonight, and then convocation, again, making sure that you're giving accurate RSVPs to Lori, and I'll be in touch with you all too as we work as a team to finalize the structure of that time and seating and all of the things. We'll prepare for convocation on Monday, the 24th. And then our first board meeting in September won't be until the 14th, with Labor Day being the 7th. I know. Yes. So with all of the logistics then do you want to add anything?
Yeah, thank you. I have just a couple of opportunities that we'll be working with community partners. August 15th, it's the Virginia and Perry Henderson back to school celebration at Madison College, where we give with support of the 100 Black Men of Madison, do backpacks to families in need. It's also a health and wellness event as well that's tied to that. I believe this is the following weekend, Marcy, the 20 or 16th. Very next day. It's the very next day. Sorry.
Oh, it is the 16th.
The 6th is the 16th. JP's hair design.
That is the 23rd.
23rd. Thank you. Sorry about that. The 23rd will be we sponsor a table with JP Hairzon to make sure that any of our scholars that are in need of a nice back to school haircut to get ready for it, have that ability. And there's barbers from all across Dane County that come in. It's a really amazing event. Again, while it's called a haircut event, there are also health services, supplies, and just an opportunity for us to make connections with our families, and we'll have a table at that space as well.
And that's at Alliant?
It's at the Alliant Energy Center.
Thank you for those reminders. I know Corby mentioned those last time, and I make sure they land on our calendars. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, well, board members, our remaining agenda item is some workshop space, and nice if we can have a little intellectual space and time to be able to dive into things that we sometimes say is wishful thinking. So we'll shift to workshop officially, where the purpose of our discussion is to kind of talk about this crosswalk between our BSR guiding policies, the board superintendent relationship, and OE8, which is an operational expectation talking about communication with the board. And I think we've seen this ebb and flow at multiple moments where we felt like there's some overlap, or even commentary to OE8 not always feeling operational, but sometimes more relational. And so maybe giving some airtime finally to, might we want to try to blend or morph or pull something from OE8 that might make more sense living in a BSR and or all the things. That's kind of the general frame that we've been dancing around and finally have some time to land in. So with that sort of intro,